Have you ever wondered what are the blessings of the trade deals that Trump made the last 2 or 3 months? Are there any positive effects of those deals on AI companies or corporations in the US? Jamie Dimon hated Bitcoin, but he loves it now. Why is this flip? And the other question is, who is Jamie Dimon? Jamie Dimon is the CEO of JPMorgan, maybe the largest bank all over the world. Actually, it processes about $1 trillion of payments across 60 countries in 120 different currencies. Have you ever wondered what would happen if a US president tried to fire the Federal Reserve? Obviously, Trump and Powell. I have spent hours and hours digging into the last financial news and economic news, and I will be giving you a digestible bill in this 15 minutes video to stay up to date until 13th of July 2025. So according to this resource, President Trump has called for Federal Reserve, which is Jerome Powell, to resign immediately. Why is that? Because actually there are some allegations that Powell has had political bias and the deceptive testimony about renovations of the Federal Reserve headquarters in Washington, D.C. I'm going actually to go into that in details at the end of the video. Secondly, here is a picture of Jamie Dimon, that was taken in 2017. Actually, he was warning traders at his bank, JPMorgan, of being fired if they are going to trade Bitcoin. However, now we are seeing that Jamie Dimon is taking a whole different approach. The resource here, I'm quoting here, like JPMorgan CEO Jamie Dimon said today, he doesn't get the appeal of stablecoins, but he also can't afford to stay on the sidelines. Why is that? Because actually there are huge billions of dollars are being invested on that field, cryptocurrencies and this kind of stuff. So, but actually, like, he's really late to the party. If we are comparing between 2017 prices of Bitcoin and now, there is a huge difference. But he made that flop in order to not miss out. Well, actually, he's not only on the sidelines here. He's invested in that field wholeheartedly, because according to that piece of news as well, actually JPMorgan now could start lending against cryptocurrencies. In other words, they would be lending the US dollars in collateral of Bitcoins. And this is a huge thing, because this is actually like an awareness or this is actually a recognition from the banks that actually Bitcoin now is a real asset, and this is getting serious right now, because now they are lending against them. So obviously Bitcoin has value here, according to them, obviously. Now let's go to the fruits of the trade deals that Trump made in the last 2 months. AMD was a huge corporation in AI in the US. AMD, according to this piece of news, AMD is to resume MI308 shipments to China after US approvals. That piece of news came on 15th of July 2025, and actually after that piece of information, the stock went up like 3 or 4% that day, and it's going up until now. But now let's dig even deeper. Why the stock is moving, or why is it a big deal that Trump, after making his trade deals, now there are fruits and there are blessings coming out of them? Let's go to AMD 10K and Mubarak. What's 10K? According to the definition, 10K is the annual report that is required by SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission in the US, that gives a comprehensive summary of the company's financial performance, i.e. balance sheet, net income, cash flow, and all of how the management sees the future of the company, their predictions. And basically, it's a really big deal in US companies. And This is all for the 10K. Let's get back and check some components of it. Like the glossary of the 10K, it's like usually it's at the beginning of the report. Okay, now we are going to financial statements and supplemental data. Then we're going to the revenue section there. And then in the revenue section, we could see like how the revenue is being generated and the geographic, like the geographic locations of that revenues, what are the countries or the main countries that these revenues are coming from. Okay, so drilling down, we are going to the segment. Oops, we don't want that. Let's go to the revenues by geographic. So according to the geographic revenue streams, China, AMD is actually exporting chips or like electronic chips or whatever the AI things that they are exporting. They are exporting to China with amount of 6.2 billion. We're talking about like it's about 24%. You're talking about 24% of its sales to China. So when a trade deal has been made, now and their shipments actually is being resumed to China, that's a big deal for the AMD, and this is how we can interpret the macroeconomic view into our stock analysis. So basically, this is 24% of AMD's revenues coming into play again into its revenue streams. With the trade deal, now the stock is outperforming the market, and the AMD, as we are seeing, is increasing in value. Fifthly, I just want to shed the light on there is like a crowded trade, Wall Street, which is shorting the US. What does that mean? Basically, people are borrowing the US dollars and sell it on the market in anticipation of the US dollar's value going down. Why is that? Because actually, as we have known in the previous videos, we actually know that the big beautiful bill is going to increase the deficit of the US of US, and that would in turn gets the US dollar weaker more and more. Okay, so like many of Wall Street or like many of traders in Wall Street are now shorting the US dollar. Okay, this is one thing. Another thing, actually, and the traders or the market knows that one way or another, the US or Trump wants the interest rate to go even more, to go down even more. So that makes the US dollar weaker and weaker. That's why they are dumping the US dollar now in anticipation of decreases in value. Am I going to take that trade now? To be honest, I don't agree, but this is my personal view. I don't express my personal views a lot, but I would express my personal view now. I don't think the US dollars is going to go in lower in value because it's already down, and now all the people are saying that the dollar is going more and more to the downside. I don't think so. They are late to the party, and actually I think based on Trump's policies, the US dollar is going to get higher in value. And don't ask me why. I'm going to say my why when that happens. Another updates as well. According to this piece of news, Trump has there are trade deals between the US and Japan, and lastly there is a trade deal between the US and EU as well. Okay. And lastly, I just want to shed the light on the clash between Trump and Jerome Powell in this video. Actually, Trump was, just a little bit of context here. Trump was visiting the Federal Reserve, the new Federal Reserve building in Washington D.C., and there was some sort of clash between them in the video. Let's check that.
Well, thank you very much. We're looking at the construction, so we're taking a look, and It looks like it's about 3.1 billion. It went up a little bit, or a lot. So the 2.7 is now 3.1.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah, I haven't heard that from anybody at the Fed.
Yeah, it just came out.
Our notes had it about 3.1 as well.
3.1.
3.2.
This came from us?
Yes. I don't know who does that.
You're including the Martin renovation. You just added.
That's our entire capital plan.
Yeah, you just added in a third building is what that is. That's a third building,
Well,
including
no,
the
but
Martin building.
it's a building that's being built.
No, it was built 5 years ago. We finished Martin 5 years ago.
It's part of the overall work.
But it's
So,
not new.
So we're going to take a look.
To be honest, I feel sorry for Jerome Powell. Okay, this video is like the tip of the iceberg. In my next video, in the educational video series, I will be going into the whole details in that thing of the independence between the government and the central bank. Don't put high expectations on it, but I can say that expect a low-key reward prediction error in that video. Now let's check the economic indicators that were released. As the picture depicts, like we have the core inflation. I'm not going to comment, but like let's just like have like a quick glance on them. Core inflation year over year. We got the PPI, the retail sales. We got the building permits. We have UMSCI as well, the preliminary one, and we have the durable goods order month over month. What we are expecting in terms of economic news that are going to be released until 15th of August. We have the non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate, ISM manufacturing on the 1st of August. We have the non-ISM, which is ISM services, PMI at 5th of August. On 12th of August, we have inflation. And on 14th of August, we have the PPI. And lastly, we have on 15th of August, we have the retail sales and UMSCI, University of Michigan Consumer. And if you saw any errors in my video, please let me know in the comments. And thank you for watching, and follow for more. See ya.